I've owned the wheel, the pedals, the rig, the monitors, the whole sim racing setup. And now I mostly race with this. According to parts of the sim racing community, that means I'm not really sim racing. But I think that the belief that everyone needs a full rig may be one of the biggest lies in sim racing. A full rig is obviously better at certain things. You get more precise steering, better braking control, and much more information about what the car is doing. I'm not going to argue that a controller is better than a good wheel and pedal setup because it just isn't. But that's very different from saying you need a rig to enjoy sim racing, become faster, or have competitive races, because the equipment doesn't drive the car for you. A direct drive wheel would not have stopped me from braking too late there. Load cell pedals wouldn't have chosen the correct racing line. Aluminum profile cockpit wouldn't have prevented me from getting back on the power too early. Those are all driving mistakes, not equipment problems. The question should not be, do I have the correct sim racing equipment? The question should be, am I learning how to drive the car? Can I hit the same braking point consistently? Can I carry speed without overdriving the front tires? Can I get back on the throttle without spinning the rear? Can I complete 5 clean laps without making 5 completely different mistakes? Those skills matter when you're using a $5,000 rig or a controller on the couch. When I first started this session, I was fighting the car. I was steering too aggressively, braking too late, trying to accelerate before the car was ready. So I stopped worrying about being fast and I focused on being smooth. Earlier braking, less steering input, more patience before getting back on the throttle. In the lap time, it began to improve. Nothing changed about the equipment. I changed. And that's the part of sim racing we sometimes forget. Buying equipment's immediate. Developing skill takes time. And buying another piece of hardware can feel much easier than admitting that the problem might just be our driving. Sim racing content naturally focuses on equipment. New wheels are exciting, pedals are easy to compare, rigs look incredible in thumbnails. And I understand the attraction because I've gone through that upgrade cycle myself. You start with a controller, then you buy a wheel, then you need better pedals. Then your chair moves under braking, so you need a cockpit. Then you need a monitor stand. Maybe you go to VR, larger screen, then a stronger wheelbase, and before long, you spent more time researching equipment than learning the circuit, and the equipment becomes the hobby. There is nothing wrong with that when, hardware is what you enjoy, but it's not a requirement to be a sim racer. A controller can still teach you racecraft. It can teach you braking points, racing lines, throttle control consistency, and patience. You can race online, you can learn setups, you can compete against your previous lap times, and you can have a great race without dedicating half a room and several $1,000s to the experience. There are limitations. The steering is less precise, triggers can't match a proper pedal set, catching slides can be more difficult, but limitations do not make the experience illegitimate. Every setup has limitations, and most of us are not driving professional simulators with hydraulic pedals and full motion platforms. We are all choosing the level of compromise that works for our space, budget, and life. You should upgrade when you know exactly what problem the upgrade's going to solve. Buy better pedals because you want more consistent braking. Buy a wheel because you want better steering control and feedback. Buy a cockpit because your current setup physically moves around. But do not buy all of it because you think you need permission to call yourself a sim racer. You do not. Sure, a full rig can make sim racing better. It can make it more immersive, more precise, and more rewarding. But it does not make you a sim racer. Driving does, learning does, racing cleanly does. Trying to find another tenth when you know the time is somewhere in the lap, that does. So race with what you have and only upgrade when your equipment is genuinely what's holding you back, because the biggest lie in sim racing is not that a full rig is better. It's the belief that you need one to belong here.